Hey guys, this is a video on how to make espresso. So here we have a scale and just a container to hold some beans. We're going to tear it out so it reads 0, and here in a second I'm going to put some beans in it. You don't have to be super cautious about exactly how many beans you have. If I'm kind of within a half a gram of where I want to be for my dose, I'm fine with that. So 20.2, just fine. And basically, I use the method where you add the exact amount of beans to the hopper of your grinder, and then you grind them, obviously. I just find that it works a little bit better. Some of these grinders do have these portafilter holders, so you can't really get a cup in until you remove it. Right here, my grinder has a scale, and for espresso, you want to be really pretty much at the fine range. Some people go all the way to the finest setting and go down from there. Other people look for, a starting grain size of around the grain of sugar. I kind of go to the top and go down a couple of clicks, and take it from there. So here, what you're going to hear is that the grinder is actually, it's grinding, and then when it runs out of beans, it kind of goes, and you're pretty much out of beans. So here we've got our portafilter, clean and dry, and our coffee grinds, and I'm just going to pour them right in there. Next, we're actually going to be leveling off these grinds. Some people like to use a north, south, east, west sort of sweeping motion with their fingers. Some people don't level at all, but generally speaking, you have to have a pretty high-end grinder to accomplish that. So if you've spent $3,000 on your grinder, you probably know that by now. Other people use a sort of a palm technique, and now we're going to tamp it. So you grab your tamper, and all it does is just press the beans. We've got our portafilter flat on our surface, and we're going to slowly kind of apply about 30 pounds of pressure. And we want to make sure it's pretty level. If you can get it as level as you can, that's probably better for your drink. So make sure you get it level. Right there, that's kind of what it'll look like after. If you look there and towards the center, there's a couple of little messed up parts down there towards the bottom. Those are likely to create some change. Here, what I'm doing is flushing out my machine, so you kind of keep overheated water in the machine for a little while if it's been on. And so you just want to flush that out. It kind of warms up the brew head, so it makes your coffee temperatures more stable, which is the name of the game. With this is a heat exchanger machine, so it's basically mandatory. Just slide our portafilter in. Doesn't need to be too tight. And now it's time to brew. So what we're looking for is a shot volume of about 40 grams for a double shot in 30 seconds. As you're going to see here shortly, I missed the mark. But that being said, you'll see your espresso dripping out pretty slowly at first, and then it'll sort of come out to a steady stream. With bottomless portafilters, one of the big advantages is that you can actually sort of see how you're doing as you're brewing. So what you want is a steady stream sort of coming out of the middle and not spraying all over. That just comes with time and practice. But as you can see here, we're at about 30 grams in about 30 seconds. So we're a little bit under, but I'm going to stop it here because I don't mind a pretty intense shot. Just some cleanup to do now. So we're going to take our portafilter, take a look at it. As you can see, I had some channeling there in that area I was worried about. Sometimes they can look like little pencil lead pricks almost. But that little chunk that's missing there is actually where the water has flowed faster through that area. You just sort of knock it out, clean it out. You know, I like to clean it out pretty well, so it's nice and ready to go for next time. Pop your portafilter back on, shut off your machine, and it's ready to go for next.